Hey Potterheads, and welcome to episode 6 of the Secret Keepers Podcast, covering Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, chapters 1 through 5.
Previously on The Secret Keepers.
So he goes and gets the mail, and there's a letter to Harry, and it's addressed the cupboard under the stairs.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, well, Snape's a bad guy. No, I think he's still associated with, what's his name? You know who.
What's his Jared? What's his actual name though?
I forget.
Gringotts break-in latest. Investigations continue in the break-in.
The Sorcerer's Stone. You don't know what that means.
I mean, unless it's in that package. Then I'd have to make some new statement.
Like what?
There's a stone in his package.
So he goes to the teacher's lounge. He opens the door and sees Snape showing Filch his bloody leg. Means he tried to get past that three-headed dog at Halloween.
Snape's a jerk.
Well, he's part of
You know who.
Where do you think the stone is?
Inside the dog? What, I think Harry's gonna die? No. 10 books after this.
You never know, Harry could die.
And then come back to life?
You
Nah,
don't
that's
know.
ridiculous, Jared.
No. It was Quirrell. So he's a bad guy now. Okay, the man with two faces. What? Like a Lego?
You eyes! You eyes!
So, Quirrell turns around, and it was the most terrible face Harry had ever seen. Chalk white with glaring red eyes and slits for nostrils like a snake.
Harry Potter, see what I have become. So Harry kills Quirrell. The end.
This is The Secret Keepers.
Should try one of these wooden puzzles.
I have
Jared, you can't do that because you get
The last
distracted.
time we podcasted, it took me the whole time to figure it out.
You were doing it the whole time.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't even say anything. Remember, if you listen to that one, it's like, every time you say Jared's like, I don't know, or where are we at? What page? Because he's not paying attention.
Nope, I wasn't. Hey, I thought I broke something. I was trying to figure it out how to fix it.
Okay.
Well, we've been recording this whole time, so that's.
Are you
that's
serious?
smart,
Oh. Okay, I did not know that. You're getting rid of that long build-up stuff, right?
yep. No, I'm not.
You are. All right. Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Colin.
I was gonna try to say something funny. I don't remember who I was gonna be. Oh, I was gonna be Dobby. What does Dobby sound like?
I'm glad you figured out how to say that. I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
Dopey or Dobby
So-
or...
Taylor, you dummy.
Dang
I even had it in my intro, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to say that. I'm just going to say a random dude.
I ruined it. Okay.
You did.
I'll still pronounce them wrong anyways.
Okay. Yeah, and you'll forget in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
My name's Taylor.
Yeah, that's Taylor, and then the other one is Jared.
The other guy. His name's Jared.
All right. So it's been a while since we've done this. A lot of different things have come up. But news of the day. Let's see. The Democrats are doing their little, what do you call that? Election, pre-election.
The primaries.
The primaries. Yep, that's going on.
Yep.
What else is going on? Spring training.
We made it to Mars. First man made it to Mars.
We did.
Yep.
Way to go, Bernie. Let's
No.
see.
You're pulling our leg.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
What else happened? Oh yeah, March Madness is coming up. Big time of the year, March Madness. So
Go blue,
but
baby.
Jared's been coaching a bit, so it's been a while since we've done this. That's why we're doing this now, and we've been a little late for you, so we're sorry about that. But hopefully it translates to a really good episode because Jared read the chapters that he needed to like a month and a half ago. So he's not going to remember anything.
And so did we.
Yes. All right. Let's get started. We are doing Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is book 2 of the 7-book Harry Potter series. Jared,
We should ask him what he remembers from the first book.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's
Jared,
quiz
give
him.
us a
Let's
first
quiz him.
book summary.
No,
We'll
let's just quiz him. Let's ask him questions.
I'm not prepared.
Who was the bad guy in the first book? Oh, wait. First, I have a better question. Jared, what was the name of the first book?
The Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh, yeah. Okay, 1 for 1. Who was the bad guy?
I can't say his name.
No, yeah, okay. No, you have to say it.
Lord Voldemort.
No, you know it. You know it.
Lord. I honestly have no idea. Lord
Voldemort.
Baltimore.
There you go.
Jeez.
But who was the other bad guy? Who was his puppet?
Come
on, Jared.
Quirrell.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Quirrell.
So when his Carrie's first Quidditch game, how did he catch the snitch?
In his mouth.
Oh, man, that was a doozy. Gave us one of the first trial when he got into the Chamber of Secrets. Oh, sorry. The
he got into that tangled bush or whatever.
yeah. Devil's snare. Yep.
Who was all right, here's one for you, Jared. Who was the first person Harry kissed in that book?
I don't remember him kissing somebody.
Oh. He didn't. That's all right, Jared, you pass. Now on to the next book, The Chamber of Secrets. Hit us with that 30-second summary. Go.
All right, chapter 1, The Worst Birthday. It's Harry's birthday, though the Dursleys really don't care. We kind of get a summary of what happened in the last book, although I didn't remember any of it. Chapter 2, Harry is sent to his room, and Dobby is there and gives him information that he should not go to Hogwarts. In Chapter 3, Ron, Fred, and George rescue Harry in a flying car, take him to live with the Weasleys. Chapter 4, Harry used some floof powder to get to Diagon Alley, but ends up in the wrong place. In Chapter 5, Harry and Ron fly to Hogwarts in that same magic car. And that's basically it.
All right, so we're back at Hogwarts. Yeah, so I guess we'll start back off at Chapter 1, The Worst Birthday. So, of course, we start off, we're back at the Dursleys, and they're still terrible people, and Dudley's still really fat. That's pretty much how it starts off. We find out that Harry, of course, he misses Hogwarts, and the Dursleys have really cracked down on all of the magic stuff. They won't let him even say the word magic. They locked all his magic items under the stairs the second they got home, and yeah, they're really strict about it. So yeah, then as Jared said, it's Harry's birthday, and Mr. Dursley plans to land the biggest sale of his career on that night.
Jared, what does Dursley do? Vernon, what's his occupation?
I have no idea.
That's a tough one though.
What is it? Oh, I know.
He's a drill salesman.
He drills.
Oh, yeah.
Drills.
Oh, yeah. Minor detail.
Yep. Maybe. So, yeah, they're always rehearsing the events on how the night's going to go, and every time they get to Harry, they ask him, and what is his response? Jared. Ask him where Harry's going to be during that night. What's his role?
Up in his room.
Making no noise at all.
Pretending he doesn't exist.
Yep.
It's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so Harry walks outside and mumbles happy birthday to himself. And we find out that his friends hadn't been writing him all summer like they said he would. And he feels very alone. He's sitting outside and he's reminiscing on his year at Hogwarts. And he sees two green eyes looking at him in the bush. And then Dudley shows up to tease him. And Harry looks back. And the eyes are gone. Oh, and Harry has a sick roast in here. What is it? What page is that?
Oh man, this has got to be like number 25 for Harry.
Yeah, it's just roast him. So the huge eyes blinked and vanished. Dudley had just said,
I know what day it is.
"Well done," said Harry. "You finally learned the days of the week."
Oh, that's good.
Roast. Oh, that's a good one. So yeah, then Harry scares him away with some fake magic. Forget what he says.
Jiggery pokery. Squiggly wiggly. We should flash back to when Jared was saying his magic words when he didn't know anything.
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll pause right here. Jared, say two magic spells that we know.
Hufflepuff.
No.
I don't remember.
One starts with a P. Petrific.
Oh, I have no idea how to say
I
that.
thought Jared was saying that. I was really excited there for a second.
I'm trying to help him along here. Petrific us.
Remember, it was the one that sounded like you swore.
Petrific us.
Petrificus totalis.
I don't remember that at all.
Okay, well you failed this quiz.
Who said that? Petrificus totalus?
Hermione.
Who said that? Hermione.
Hermione Granger.
Oh, that's that one that like snapped his legs in together?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting it.
All rushing back now, isn't it, Jared?
Yeah, but I had no clue how to say it.
Nope.
Is that the only one we know?
I thought we knew.
No,
like,
there was one more main one.
What's the one that Ron used against the troll?
I don't know.
Do you know who Ron is?
Yeah, he's a Weasley.
It's when
Guardians of the Galaxy.
This episode brought to you by Marvel.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Nope.
Okay. No,
Nope.
nothing. All right.
Doesn't even
Oh.
ring a bell.
Moving on.
All right. Well, we're back to Harry sitting outside. Harry scares Dudley with some fake magic, and then he runs back inside and dodges part of his punishment, which was a swinging frying pan at his head.
I forgot about that.
What? That could kill someone.
It's the 90s, man. Anything goes.
Yeah, I guess. So he also has a bunch of chores to do. He quick eats and he heads to his room because the people are coming for the sale. But there's one problem. There's already someone sitting on his bed.
And then Jared just stopped reading.
Yes, Jared read the first chapter and then just stopped.
That way I'd pick it up again.
Jared,
And
at that
weeks-
point.
That's good strategy.
Okay, so you had 2 weeks to sit there and mull on that. What did you conclude was sitting on his bed?
I thought it was his friends.
McGonagall?
McGonagall? No, I thought it was like Hermione, or the Weasleys or somebody.
Okay.
Well, McGonagall can turn into a cat, so could be her.
Anyways, that brings us to chapter 2, Dobby's warning. Jared, would you like to describe what Dobby looks like for us?
A short, cat-like thingy with a long nose.
Are you looking at the picture on
Yes.
the cover? What is Dobby, Jared?
A creature
Oh,
that serves the
wizards.
wizards. Yes,
Yeah,
what
that's
I was
the
looking
word.
for.
The magic folk.
The magic people, the non-muggles.
Yeah.
Yes, Dobby is a creature that has large bat-like ears, bulging green eyes like tennis balls, and he's wearing an old pillowcase. and introduces himself as Dobby the house elf. Harry tells Dobby,
sir.
say what?
I don't know. I was doing my Dobby voice.
Dobby, sir. Just Dobby. Dobby the house elf.
Nice.
Oh, they have high voices or something?
He does.
Well, what did you think he sounded like?
Hello, Mr. Potter.
No.
Well, isn't this thing like 800 years old too?
Maybe.
I
I don't think
it
it says.
On page 12, Jared, like the fifth paragraph of the chapter, it says, Harry Potter, said the creature in a high-pitched voice.
Oh, yep, there you go.
There you
That
go.
confirms it, Jim.
High-pitched voice. So Harry tells Dobby to sit down, and he starts freaking out because Dobby has never been treated as an equal. Let's see, page 14. Dobby starts like punishing himself after everything he says because he had almost spoke ill of his family. Dobby will have to punish himself most grievously for coming to see you, sir. Dobby will have to shut his ears in the oven doors for doing this, if they ever knew. Man. So Harry kind of says to him, you must have never met many decent wizards, to which Dobby agrees and then punishes himself for speaking ill of his family, like we just covered. Dobby then tells Harry he has come to warn him not to go to Hogwarts because it isn't safe. He tells Harry there's a plot to make most terrible things happen at Hogwarts this year. But Harry asks if it involves he who must not be named, but Dobby says no. And then on page 17, he says, Albus Dumbledore is the greatest headmaster Hogwarts has ever had. Dobby knows it, sir. Dobby has heard Dumbledore's powers rival those of he who must not be named at the height of his strength. But, sir, there are powers Dumbledore doesn't. Powers no decent wizard. And then before Harry could stop him, Dobby started beating himself in the head with a lamp. So, Jared, at this point, what did you think this whole plot was all about?
Dobby, I was very confused
Okay.
because I still don't know. I don't know if Dobby's a good person or a bad person, or if he's telling the truth, or if he's lying, or I don't know what to make of Dobby. He don't make no sense. I mean, anybody who beats a lamp or beats his head against the wall don't make a lot of sense to me.
So you didn't have any like hunches at all at this point as to what this plot he is talking about could be that didn't involve he who must not be named?
Well, probably to kill Harry.
Okay. Well, Uncle Vernon heard a little bit of racket coming from upstairs, so he comes stomping upstairs to threaten Harry. And Harry uses this as a reason to explain why he has to go back to Hogwarts and his friends, to Dobby, that is. And then he's having a little bit of a back and forth with Dobby, and then Dobby drops the line, friends that don't even write to Mr. Harry Potter? Ooh.
How did you know that, Dobby?
Yeah, how did you know that? And then we find out that Dobby has been stopping Harry's letters in effort to keep him from wanting to go back to Hogwarts. So Harry refuses to tell Dobby that he's not going back to Hogwarts. So Dobby takes off downstairs to get Harry in trouble. Then we get to Harry comes downstairs after him, and he finds Dobby floating the dessert that Aunt Petunia made. Since Harry still won't say he's going to stay home from school, Dobby drops the cake, and it splatters everywhere. Harry gets into trouble, then gets a letter delivered by an owl, which ends all hopes for a deal for Uncle Vernon. The owl basically says, or the letter basically says, we've received intelligence that a hover charm was used at your place of residence this evening at 12 minutes past 9. Underage wizards are not permitted to perform spells outside of school. If you do this again or any further spell work, it may lead to expulsion from the school. So Harry gets in trouble. Uncle Vernon vows to keep Harry from ever going back to Hogwarts and locks him in his room and bars the windows like a prison.
So why didn't Dobby do another piece of magic
To what?
to actually expel Harry?
Well, because he knew that if Harry got in trouble, Uncle Vernon would basically not let him go back to school because he'd get punished so bad.
Yeah, but didn't the letter say if you you do another piece of magic, you get expelled?
That is true.
So then all Dobby would have to do is do another piece of magic, and then Harry.
I don't
can't
think
go back.
Dobby knew that. I think
Dobby
he was
left
doing-
before the letter is read.
Yeah, I don't think he knew that. He was just trying to get Harry in trouble so they wouldn't let him go back.
Yeah, because
Oh.
it says Harry's not going back to school. Say it. No, I'm not going to say it. Say it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. Dobby dropped the cake and then vanished. And then the letter comes after that. So maybe he didn't know. So yeah, Harry hangs in his room for a few days. And then one night falls asleep and dreams he is a zoo animal with Dobby staring at him. And he wakes up and to his surprise, Ron Weasley is staring at him through the window.
And then
And
Jared,
Jared once
fell.
again puts the book. Jared once again puts the book down and stops reading.
Oh, this is why it took 2 months.
Jared, what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on this at that point?
I think I kept reading after this one.
I don't think you did. I
Uh-huh.
think you're full of it.
Okay. Anyways, what were did you have any thoughts at this point as to what was going on?
No. I thought he was still dreaming.
Oh, after he woke up.
Well, you can still be like in a daze.
Man, too bad you can't see people's faces on podcasts because that was a good one. Okay. Well, we get to chapter 3, the burrow. Harry walks over to the window and there's a flying car with Ron, Fred, and George in it. They're there to pick up Harry. So the Weasleys tear the bars off the window. Fred and George creep downstairs, picking locks as they go to grab Harry's stuff. Harry loads all his stuff up in the window, and as he's leaving, Uncle Vernon manages to grab him by the ankle. But they manage to escape. And does Uncle Vernon fall out the window? I don't know if that was just a movie thing or a book thing. I think he
I didn't
doesn't.
think he'd be able to fit out the window.
I don't know.
I don't remember that part.
No, he didn't. It doesn't say. No, he didn't.
He doesn't? Okay. All right. Well, they take off flying into the night sky. So in the car, Harry tells his story and all the details with Dobby, and the group tries to decipher what is going on. We learn that house elves have a powerful magic, but they can't use it without the permission of their masters, which is why Dobby had to punish himself. The twins think it's a prank by someone who doesn't want Harry at Hogwarts, which could be Draco Malfoy. And they say that Mr. Malfoy was a big supporter of you-know-who, but when he fell, he claimed that he meant none of it. What do you think about those different ideas, Jared?
They both sound reasonable to me.
They both sound reasonable?
Sure. Didn't you say two things?
Did I? I don't think I did.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. It sounds reasonable to me.
All right. Well, Ron starts telling Harry about all his efforts to contact him, and we learn that Percy is acting odd, locking himself in his room most of the time and not letting anyone use his owl. Jared, what do you think Percy's doing? What's
Probably
that?
messing with one of those legs he's got.
What?
What? Doing?
Time out. Doesn't Percy have isn't he like an octopus? No, he's holding.
How do I
Where
edit
did
that
that come
out so I
from?
get that in there?
What?
Oh, he's throwing sticks or something, right? Isn't there? I just picture him as like this octopus thing that crawls around the walls.
What are you talking about?
Don't stop him, Taylor. Let him keep going. What?
All right, maybe let's go back. Percy.
Okay. Percy, he's locked himself in his room and doesn't let anyone use his owl.
Oh, time out. I was thinking of a different thing.
Yeah, what were you
Percy's a
thinking of?
Weasley, right?
Yes.
All right. There's something. What's the thing at Hogwarts that
Peeves. He's thinking of
Peeves,
Peeves.
yes.
Oh my
Peeves.
word! You thought Peeves was an octopus?
Yes. Yes. Well, like that's how I pictured it. It's like
man.
Oh my word!
Okay.
all right, sorry.
All right, we've established that Percy is a human. Now,
Oh, he's a wizard.
he's a wizard. Anyways, where are we? Oh yeah, we find out that Mr. Weasley works in the misuse of Muggle artifacts office. He's fascinated with everything Muggle. Then we make it to the burrow. It looked as though it had once been a large stone pig pen, but extra rooms had been added here and there until it was several stories high and so crooked it looked as though it were held up by magic. 4 or 5 chimneys were perched on top
Dudley
of
should have lived there.
Why?
It looked like a pig pen.
Ah, roast him.
Oh. There's 4 or 5 chimneys were perched on top of the red roof. A lopsided sign stuck in the ground near the entrance read "The Burrow." Around the front door lay a jumble of rubber boots and very rusty cauldrons. Several fat brown chickens were pecking their way around the yard. It's not much, said Ron, and Harry said, it's wonderful. Thinking of where he came from, which is, yeah, quite the difference. So the twins come up with a plan to get back inside before Mrs. Weasley finds out, but just as they start heading into the house, she storms out and chews them out. So they head inside, and we get our first look at really what a normal wizarding life is like. There's a lot of interesting clocks and books, wizard musicians, dishes cleaning themselves. What did you think about all this stuff, Jared?
That would be awesome. But I still don't know why they don't use more magic.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just feel like they could incorporate way more magic into their everyday life than even what they use. That's all I remember when I read that. I can't think of a specific example right now.
Well, so everything in this book, I think, is from Harry's perspective. So maybe he's just really unobservant and doesn't notice all the things that they're doing. You ever think of that?
Sure. No, I never thought that.
All right. Well, they all eat breakfast. Then Mrs. Weasley sends them out to de-gnome the garden. So, Jared, do you know how to de-gnome a garden?
Why don't they use magic to de-gnome the garden?
Yeah, that is an excellent point. Why doesn't she just be like, what up?
Okay, yeah. See, there's one of those things. Why don't they use magic to fix up their house?
Well, it teaches character.
Maybe they would just
Why don't they use magic to teach character?
Maybe magic doesn't work like that, Jared.
Nah,
figure
it
it
totally
out.
does.
What about what if these things are like magic immune, so you have to do them
Oh, maybe.
a certain way?
So let's
and
get closer to
unbelievable.
these magical creatures, these gnomes.
No, there's not.
Ah, come on!
It's not a magical creature.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I guess it's a pest, so it's not like
Yeah. Merlin was on the holidays.
Oh,
So
Merlin's got the day
he's
off. Okay.
he's out in
He's dragon watching in Ethiopia.
no, he's not dragon watching Ethiopia. He's going for a nice stroll through the woods in Albania, he said. That's where he went.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Albania, huh?
Yeah, he said it sounds like Elvis, so it's kind of magic-y.
Is Albania a real place?
I think
I don't
so.
know. Probably.
Anyways, so they finished denoming the garden, Jared, how do you denome a garden? Did you figure that out?
Don't you swing them around by the neck and chuck them?
I think so. I don't
Like
even
that.
know.
Yeah, you spin them and you get them dizzy and throw them.
Oh yeah, then they
Yeah.
can't find their way back.
Yeah, because they're dizzy.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we finished.
Why don't they
denoming
use
the-
a magic fence or not? I just don't understand this.
You're thinking about it too much, Jared.
Maybe after this, you can write a letter to JK asking all these questions.
Yeah, you should do that.
Like, I'm sure they never have to mow their yard or water
about-
their yard.
How about like pooping? What are they doing
Oh.
for pooping?
That you could take a crap anywhere and then just wave a magic wand and it'd go away.
That's actually what they used to do before sewer systems were invented. Before plumbing.
Oh yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that's actually what they used to do.
They say that in these books at some point. I remember
But
that.
they don't banish it. They had to by some wizarding law, you can't just make something disappear. You have to send it somewhere.
Yeah.
So they're sending all their wizard turds just to some room somewhere. Anyways, back to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They finish denoming, and then Mr. Weasley comes back home. And he starts talking about his night, and Mr. Weasley brings up the car. Wait, Mrs. Weasley brings up the car. And that the twins took it to get Harry last night. And the first things he asks is if it went all right, before he quickly gets corrected and scolds the three boys. Then the chapter ends with Ron taking Harry up to his room, which is covered with Chudley Cannon's posters. And Harry tells Ron that it's the best house he has ever seen. Aw, so cute.
Can we make Jared say the name of the next chapter?
Yeah. Next chapter, chapter 4.
Time out, I gotta. Did you hear this yet?
No,
You know that
wait.
What?
Oh, wait, what? Go ahead.
You know that marriage is a walk in the park? Jurassic Park.
Okay, since we're telling jokes, I got a joke.
I thought about that with the Weasleys.
Why?
Because didn't she, like, yell at her husband at one point about
Yeah.
fixing the cars or doing magic or messing
Well,
with
how about-
Muggle stuff?
Okay, I have a good one. It's Harry Potter related. How did Harry Potter get down the hill?
Oh, I heard this one.
Answer is walking. J.K. Rowling.
I've heard that one. Yep, I've heard that one.
Oh, so good.
Okay. All right, chapter 4, Jared.
At Flourish and Blots.
Oh, nice, dude.
Pretty good. That's good. I think that's what it is.
Nice.
So Harry's really enjoying himself at the Weasleys, and the care they're taking for him. And then one morning, he's eating breakfast, and letters from Hogwarts come, letting them know which books they need. And many of the books written by Jared.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yes.
Hey, I'm good at this book.
Yeah. And of course, Harry gets his letter too because Dumbledore knows Harry's already there because he knows everything that's going on. And then a letter comes from Hermione saying they should meet up at Diagon Alley to get their books together. They all think this is a pretty good idea. And so to spend the time, the rest of their summer, I guess, till they got to go, the four boys go out and practice Quidditch outside. But Percy, the octopus, doesn't want to go. He goes and once again shuts himself in his room. Interesting. So the twins start going off about how the Weasleys will have trouble paying for all the books, and Harry feels a little bad because he's loaded and doesn't give them any of his money. So the next day it's time to go to Diagon Alley, and they are to travel by Floo powder. Jared, how does Floo powder work?
You toss a little bit into the chimney and you run into the chimney and flew. You're gone.
Sound effect to me. Flew.
Yeah, that's close enough. So Harry has the twins go first because he's never done it. So they grab some powder, throw it in the fire. They say Diagon Alley, and off they go, vanishing into the flames. Harry steps up, and right as he's going to say Diagon Alley, he stutters. Diagon Alley, he coughed because he had a sneeze or something, and he vanishes. What do you think about Floo powder travel, Jared?
Man, wouldn't that be nice?
Again, I think there's got to be an easier way with magic.
No, there's not.
There has to be.
What do you mean? For
Like-
traveling?
Like, hocus pocus, Diagon Alley. Boom, you're there.
Man, you're so creative with your spell work. I have never heard of that spell before. Hocus pocus. Wow.
Jared, did you take a language?
Anyone want to make of myself. What?
Did you take a language in high school?
Yes.
Which one?
Spanish.
Oh,
Well, the wrong one.
yeah. See, a lot of these spells are like Latin or something. So if you
Yep.
knew Latin, you could do like travel star pocus travel, and then you'd fly somewhere. I don't know. Just trying to help you make up better magic spells.
I'll come up with better magic spells.
So Harry shows up in a dimly lit wizarding store. He can tell it's not Diagon Alley, so he decides to get out as fast as he can. But before he can leave, he sees someone coming in. So he vanishes from view by jumping into a cabinet. Who was the person that was coming into that store, Jared?
Malfoy.
Malfoy, yes. So he overhears.
Where's Harry's invisible suit?
His invisibility cloak.
Yeah, whatever. Close enough.
I don't know. It must be in his trunk still at the.
I'd wear that thing everywhere.
Yeah, wouldn't you? You would think. I mean,
yeah.
what, you're gonna rock around with a big old bulge in your pocket everywhere you go, Jared? No, you're not gonna do that.
I just figure like wear it over top of yourself.
You just be invisible everywhere you go.
All the
Well,
time.
It's got to be have like an on-off switch, you know?
No.
Like, invisible, visible. I'm gonna invent one of those things.
Yeah.
All
good
right.
luck.
Did you guys ever see that on as April Fool's Day? Like, oh man, this is probably like 5 or 6 years ago
Yeah,
now.
I
The
saw that.
University of Michigan did like a thing on that.
Yeah.
Invisibility spray. Pretty cool. Yep. So Malfoy, what did Harry just do? Yeah, he vanished from view by jumping into a cabinet. That's what Harry just did. Then he overhears Malfoy going off about Harry, and he hears Lucius Malfoy say, "I'm not buying today, Mr. Borgin, but selling. You have heard, of course, that the Ministry is conducting more raids. I have a few items at home that might embarrass me if the Ministry were to call. I have not been visited yet. The name Malfoy still commands a certain respect, but the Ministry grows ever more meddlesome. There are rumors about a new Muggle Protection Act. No doubt that flea-bitten, Muggle-loving fool Arthur Weasley is behind it." So, yeah, Mr. Malfoy's selling stuff he doesn't want people to find, and then he's hating on Mr. Weasley. Jared, what do you think about that?
Sounds like someone who knows they're in trouble.
But he renounced everything that had to do with Voldemort when Voldemort fell.
So
you don't believe him?
no.
Well, okay.
You can say a lot of things.
You're right. You can. Harry's still in the cabinet, and he hears Malfoy say, "Can I have that?" He points at a withered hand on a cushion. It turns out this is the Hand of Glory, which only provides light to the holder. Best friend of thieves and plunderers. Your son has a fine taste, sir. But Mr. Malfoy says he cannot have it. Then Malfoy continues to look through the shop and sees a hangman's rope and a unique necklace of opals that has a sign that reads, "Do not touch, cursed," has claimed the life of 19 Muggles to date.
What's an
Just-
opal?
Opal? Isn't it
It's a-
like a
it's a
blue?
gem.
Like a blue
Opals
gem?
and bananas. I like-
Yeah. Just as Malfoy is going to open the cabinet that Harry had vanished into, his dad calls them, and they leave. So Harry kind of lets himself settle, and he walks out, and it turns out he's in a completely different alley devoted to the dark arts. What alley is he in, Jared?
Flourish and blot.
No.
Oh.
What alley is he in, Jared?
What page?
53.
Nocturne Alley.
Hmm.
Huh. It didn't ring a bell to me.
No? All right. Well, let's keep on going then.
But you knock and you turn.
Yep, you got it. You got the
Oh,
joke.
right.
All right.
Left. Right.
Yep, you got it, Jared. Don't say it too fast, though. You might pick up on what it actually is. Let's just keep going. Let that one.
Nocturnally.
What does that have to do with anything?
Dark night.
Oh.
Oh.
I didn't know this was Mad Gap.
Yeah, what a terrible spelling of nocturnally. Well, how would a 12th grader ever, or 12-year-old ever figure that out?
Well, a 12th grader didn't.
I can tell you I didn't figure it out till like a year ago, so
Yeah, I didn't.
you're doing better than me.
Oh.
I didn't even know what the alley was called, so.
Yeah, so Harry leaves the store, starts walking around to try to find his way back, and he hears Hagrid call his name. And Hagrid escorts him back to Diagon Alley, where they meet up with the Weasleys again and head to Gringotts to get their money. So they're all on the train, and they stop at Harry's vault, and they can see all the money in it. And Harry feels kind of bad, but no one brings it up, and they continue. So then they all split up and agree to meet back after an hour. And they see Percy reading a book called Prefects Who Gained Power. And we find out that Percy wants to be Minister of Magic. Then the hour passes and they meet back up at Flourish and Blotts to a crowd of people waiting to get their book signed by the one and only Gilderoy Lockhart. So they walk in and Lockhart sees Harry and instantly grabs him for a picture. And announces that he will be the new Defense Against the Dark Arts professor at Hogwarts. Lockhart gives all of his books to Harry for free, who then gives them to Ginny, and then he runs into Malfoy and they have some words. And then the parents get involved, Arthur and Lucius. They have a few words once again, and Malfoy asks if they are paying Arthur for his work, and he grabs Ginny's books out of her hands, out of her cauldron, which is all tattered and torn, and states, obviously, they're not paying him, which starts a scuffle between the two. Hagrid comes and breaks it up. Malfoy throws the books back in Ginny's cauldron and leaves. And then the chapter ends with all of them leaving and going back home. Jared, at this point, I wanted to get what your thoughts were on Mr. Lockhart. What do you think of him?
Sounds like he wants attention. Attention and money. And fame and power.
Well, what do you think about all his accomplishments?
Well, he wrote a book?
He wrote, like, all the books.
Cool.
He's
well,
like the most.
He's
like the most like famous wizard, isn't he?
Can't you just use magic to write a book? Write a book.
That's a great spell, Jared.
I would have a spell for everything.
You would. You'd be a very powerful wizard.
Yep.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to the next chapter. Chapter 5. Jared, what's this chapter called?
The Whomping Willow.
Oh, shoot.
I was hoping he'd say something like Whomping or something.
I thought you'd say the Whomping Willow. The Whomping Willow, yes.
Oh, my word.
So the Weasleys are throwing an end of summer party and they're getting ready to leave for Hogwarts the next morning. They all hop in the car, which has magically been expanded in the inside at least, so you can fit all kinds of stuff in there, and they head out. But they shortly have to turn around for Fred to get his broom and Ginny to get her diary. They get to the station and they are cutting it real close for time. And the Weasleys all go first. They get through the barrier, and then Ron and Harry run at it with 1 minute left, and they crash into the barrier. The barrier has closed before time has expired. Jared, what do you think about that?
I don't know. What am I supposed to think about that?
Why did the barrier close before they ran through it?
Someone didn't want them to get to Hogwarts.
What's your guess as to who that is?
No guesses. No idea.
No idea.
No clue.
No, because I want to say you know who, but that doesn't seem right.
Who
Since
else
he can't
did-
even
who-
he can't even act by himself, and we don't even know where he is.
Is there
Right.
anyone else who didn't want Harry to go to Hogwarts?
The Dobby,
But did
he's
he?
but he's under control of somebody else who I don't know who that somebody else is.
What's your guess as to whose control he's under?
Well, they want us to think Malfoy.
So that makes
But-
you not think Malfoy?
It's not Malfoy, in my opinion.
Okay.
So maybe it's a character we haven't been introduced to yet.
Okay. It could be. Jared, before we continue here, there's a question I forgot to ask you at the very beginning. Where is you know who at this point in time? Or like
Right
what
now?
is he like, where is he? What is he doing? What happened? Like, is he, I don't know, what do you think's going on with him?
He's sucking vampire blood.
Unicorn blood.
Unicorn blood, whatever it is. Yeah, he's sucking unicorn blood.
Yeah.
He's in like a graveyard somewhere.
Okay.
That's how I picture him, like
Just licking his wounds.
barely alive.
Yep.
That's how
Okay.
ghosts in the graveyard.
Goes to the All right. Well, the barrier's closed. They can't get through. So Harry and Ron go about wondering what to do, and they come up with the idea to fly the car to school. Harry asks about how Ron's parents will get home, and Ron says it's fine. They can apparate.
Hey, what does that mean?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, what's apparate?
Well, what does Jared think apparating is?
Use
Who-
magic to get home.
Okay, I guess we don't know what apparating is yet.
Really?
I don't think so.
We
Sounds
just
like
had this
another-
long discussion of being able to travel a different way than flu powder, and okay.
Yeah. I guess it's just another way of travel.
Is flu powder the cheap way?
I think it's the way you don't need a wand.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like Harry can do it and Ron can do it.
And you can walk.
Underage wizards can do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they do that. So Ron and Harry jump in the car, and when no one's looking, they hit the invisibility booster, and they take off. While they are flying, the invisibility booster faults out a little, so they have to fly above the clouds and check down on where the train is every now and then. 7 hours later, they're creeping up on Hogwarts, and the car's engine starts sputtering. Let's see. We get to page 73, and it says, Ron encourages the car on cajolingly. What does cajolingly mean?
Like lightly and like easing into it, I think.
Come on, he said cajolingly, giving the steer a little shake.
Why not? Car's a bus, fix a bus.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Why can't you just fix his car somehow?
Because he's Ron.
He's underage. He doesn't know anything. He's at 1 year of school.
Okay.
Jared,
fine.
could you read in first grade? You probably could, but could you read
And then he
read first
stopped
grade, Jared?
reading. He stopped reading. He never read again in his life.
I don't know, enough to figure out the few little things I need to know.
Okay, so you know enough magic to fix a car.
Sure.
Okay. Well,
Does it seem like it's whatever. You just need to know the right magic word.
yeah, I suppose.
You got to move your wand right too. It's not just saying the word.
Really?
Yeah, there is wand lore and wand mechanics, I guess.
You gotta want it.
gotta
eat
Like the swish and flick for Wingardium Leviosa. Remember? Swish and flick. Nothing.
Oh.
Okay. Anyways, then just as the car gets over the Great Lake, the engine dives and nosedives. So Ron whips out his wand and just starts screaming, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" smacking the steering wheel. Any spells that he could have used here to save them that you know of?
No.
I wondered this. Do you think he could have used Wingardium Leviosa on something he's in?
I don't know.
What does that one do again?
That's the one that like makes things float or lifts things. Like Ron used it on the troll.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, they dive down and crash into a big tree. The result of the crash is Ron's wand snaps in half. And as he's telling Harry that happened, the car gets whacked by the tree over and over and over. And things aren't looking good for them. And then all of a sudden, the car jumps to life. Harry yells, "Reverse!" and the car shoots out from the tree.
If his wand is cracked in half, what does that mean? Can he not get it fixed? Is it what?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, Jared.
Well, it's just asking a question.
Stop it.
God.
What do you think it won't work then?
I don't know. I figured there's got to be a wand fixer upper.
Oh, maybe there is.
But maybe it costs you something, or I don't know.
Yeah.
You need more of that. Dragons. What was in a wand? A feather of some sort.
The phoenix tail feather, or dragon heartstring.
Yeah.
Or unicorn hair.
Yeah, one of those.
Hair.
Yeah. Well, the car shoots them out of itself, pops the trunks out afterwards, and then takes off. Ron can't believe their luck after losing the car and is worried their parents would be upset about it, but doesn't have time to think because they needed to get to the feast and the sorting. They get up to the feast and peek inside and notice that Snape is not at the head table. So they start fantasizing where he could be, and then, of course, he pops up right behind them.
Oh, what's he say?
Oh, yes, maybe he's left. And they start fantasizing and say, maybe he's left because he missed out on the Defense Against the Dark Arts job again. Or he might have been sacked.
Or maybe he's waiting to hear why you two didn't arrive on the school train.
Harry whips around, and his black robes rippling in a cold breeze, stood Severus Snape. Jared, what's your opinions on Severus Snape again?
He's a good guy now.
Okay, he's the good guy. He takes them to his office and begins questioning them, but shushes them before they can even answer. And then on page 79,
He gives them a newspaper.
Yes, that says, "Flying Fort Anglia mystifies Muggles." "Silence," said Snape cold. This is the very top of the page. "What have you done with the car?" Ron gulped. This wasn't the first time Snape had given Harry the impression of being able to read minds. But a moment later, he understood as Snape unrolled today's issue of the Evening Prophet. I guess I just wanted to bring out that Harry thinks he can read minds just like Jared did in the first book.
Oh, man.
Does that mean, does Jared have a correct prediction then? He's got both his hands up in the air. Turns out they've seen and worse. Ron's dad is in the misuse of Muggle artifacts department, and he could be in some serious trouble for this. Let's see. Snape runs and grabs the Gryffindor head of house to dish out some punishment. Dumbledore shows up, as well as McGonagall, and Harry feels terrible seeing the disappointment in his eyes. It's like when your dad tells you, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed."
Oh, yeah.
So they tell Dumbledore the story, and Dumbledore tells them he will write their families, and basically that if they do something like this again, they'll be expelled. That's 2 expulsion threats for Harry in like 3 days. Not a great start. So Dumbledore and Snape leave. McGonagall gives them both attentions. She gives them some sandwiches, and they head back to the dormitories. And then, of course, as all high school and other schools are, They get back to the dormitories, and everyone's going crazy about how cool they are for having stolen a flying car and for their rival. Except, of course, for Percy the octopus. And the chapter ends with Harry and Ron feeling pretty good about themselves. And that's it.
The end.
The end. So, Jared, now that you've read 5 chapters over the course of 3 months and had time to sit and wallow on it and dwell on it, what are your thoughts about where we're at in the story?
Harry's got to dig himself out of some few holes, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't really know much about the plot yet.
I don't know where it's heading. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
Kind of more of a just laying the foundation once again and get back to school and let things go from there. So,
I mean, the only hint we have is Dobby didn't want him to go back because he's scared about something. We don't know what, but
so
probably something to do with the Chamber of Secrets.
That'd be a good guess.
It just makes me think that I don't know. I feel like they're not actually going to go after Harry this time. Because if they did want to go after Harry, it'd be easier to get him
Who's
maybe
they?
out. Whoever this person is. Whoever the person who doesn't want Harry at the Hogwarts.
So you think that someone doesn't want him to go to Hogwarts?
Yes, because he will figure out how to stop whatever the plan is.
Okay.
So Dobby is
A bad guy.
a bad guy.
Okay.
And that's also why he wasn't allowed to go, so that didn't work. Then he didn't get allowed to go to the thing. It's not like they're trying to hurt. They're not trying to protect him, in my opinion. I feel like it's more of something's going to happen at Hogwarts that they can't have Harry there because he's the only one who could stop him.
Okay.
But Dobby's so kind-hearted and tender-hearted.
No, he's not.
Oh.
He stole all Harry's letters, and then he tried to get Harry in trouble, and then he's beat himself in the head with a lamp.
I guess.
Anyways, that's my short analysis.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah. Any other business we got to take care of?
No.
I don't think so.
Business is booming.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up then. Thanks again for listening, everyone. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to rate and review us if you haven't already. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Keepers Pod. And if you want to take the next step, of course, you can always become a patron at patreon.com/SecretKeepersPod. And that'd be awesome. So, yeah, that's all for now. So until next time, we solemnly swear we'll be up to no good.
I'm still up to good.
Ah.